You know what cliche I hate when it comes to relationships? Because it's such a lie. We're going to have to agree to disagree. Okay, now everybody says that to just like bring the heat down on an argument, but does it ever really go away?
It doesn't really resolve anything.
Right.
It just kind of sets in stone where you stand.
And there are just some times that you're at a stalemate in your relationship. Maybe one person has really been resolved to like, okay, you know what, we're just going to put it behind us. But the other one can't let it go, right? So sometimes you're just in a stalemate. So Mike and Sarah have hit us up because they are in this position right now in their marriage where they just can't move on over one issue. Completely one issue, and that's it. So, good morning, Mike, and good morning, Sarah. How are you today?
Good morning. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Sarah, you seem a little bit more reluctant than Mike here.
You could say that.
I don't feel reluctance. I feel disdain.
Ooh. Oh, damn.
That's strong. That's top shelf.
Right?
Okay.
That's an SAT word, baby.
All right. Well, disdain sells better. So, Sarah, what's the problem here with you and Mike?
Okay, so Mike and I were invited to his college friend's wedding, right? And I was totally planning to go, but then this work trip came up, so things changed. Like, I can't miss it. So I told Mike he should just skip the wedding because I can't be there, but he's still planning to go, and I have a problem with that.
Okay, hold on. Before you even go on, I want to tell you that when you said that he shouldn't go, it was Mo's head that popped up like a whack-a-mole.
I don't really understand that one.
And then did a little tilt.
Yeah.
Like you heard a high-pitched whistle or something.
I was trying to hear her out. I was trying to listen through it, but I so far I'm not exactly sure why he shouldn't go because she can't.
Do you want some clarification from her before we talk to him?
Yes. Why exactly should he not go because you can't?
Okay, so, like, for starters, I think it's weird for a married man to go to a wedding without his wife, especially when his ex-girlfriend's going to be there. And from what I hear, she's still single and asking about him through mutual friends. Like, I don't think it's appropriate for him to be in that situation without me there.
Well, just because she's a flirty sloot doesn't mean anything's going to happen with your mans.
Yeah, but I don't want him to be in that situation at all.
Okay. All right, Mike, how you feeling about this whole thing?
Look, I appreciate where she's coming from, all right, but none of about this day is about my dumb ex, all right? It's about my buddy's wedding, all right? That's it.
How close to you are, or how close are you to this friend?
Oh, we've been friends since school.
Okay.
We're tight as anything.
All right.
Oh, so this is like a top tier A-list friend.
Well, if it was top tier, he'd be in the wedding.
Oh, that's fair.
So it's probably
Looking at like
one
B.
tier below.
Okay.
B tier.
See, most of us don't think that way. Mike just found out he's a B-level friend. He should have never come on.
We all found that out together in real time.
Unless he thought my buddy did me a solid by not throwing me in the wedding.
So, Mike, tell us about the tension that's been going on between you and Sarah. What is your argument to her? Like, this is silly. Of course I should go.
Well, it's silly, but you're already hearing her, so you already know she's doing back channel investigations on what she thinks this could be. And this is a wedding. It's not a singles mixer. It's very simple.
All right, Sarah, are you doing any back channel negotiations going on here, like between Russia and Ukraine?
I mean, we have similar friend circles. We talk and I hear things.
What have you heard?
She's been asking around about him, like, is our relationship solid? Like, how are things going? How is Mike? All the things.
Okay, so Mike, you're listening to Sarah, you're hearing Sarah, and you're acknowledging that the ex is bringing up some bad feelings for her, correct?
Look at you playing therapist.
Wow, you have gone through therapy before.
So we'll go ahead and
I get it.
Huh?
But there's a reason she's my ex. I'm married. I love my wife. There's no reason for me to ever even consider about reconnecting. And the fact that she's out there running her mouth about me makes her even look worse.
There's another cliche I hate in relationships also, and I'm going to say this before I ask Sarah a question. The cliche I hate is, I trust him, I just don't trust her. So, Sarah, why should Mike not go to this wedding? What is the real insecurity here?
I mean, kind of what you said, like, I trust him, but I don't trust her. And like, Mike, you're missing the point. It's not just about what you intend to do. It's about the perception and respect. Like, if the roles were reversed, if I had an ex-boyfriend at a wedding and you couldn't go, wouldn't you feel uncomfortable with me going alone?
Well, first of all, I trust you. How about that? 100%.
Come on, Mike. If my ex was asking about me, you'd be uncomfortable too.
A little. Just a little.
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say that you don't actually trust him. Because I think if you actually trusted him, you would trust that no matter what situation he's put in, he's going to act accordingly. No?
I agree.
No, I do. Okay, I do trust him, but I think it's a respectful thing to do. Like, no one's telling him he can't go, but I think he should choose not to out of respect for me and our marriage.
Girl, I'm sorry. I got to correct you on that. It is not respectful to tell your partner they have to stay locked up and miss an event from one of their college best friends just because you don't like their ex, especially if you really do trust him. So either you don't actually trust him and you're blowing smoke and you don't want to admit it, or you're being a little selfish right now and you're trying to dampen your partner, a great time for your partner at a very significant event for one of his friends over just some woman who thinks he's hot.
Mike, are you offended that she's essentially saying, I mean, she's saying the words she trusts you, but the actions here, like Abby said, is she's saying she don't trust you.
No, and I get it, but if the roles were reversed, I would never in a million years have her stop going to her friend's wedding because of an ex.
Has Mike ever given you a reason to not trust him, Sarah?
No, and like I said, I do respect him. It's just about perception and respect.
So, but you don't respect the fact that he feels like he needs to be there for his friend's wedding, regardless of who else is going to show up?
I mean, there's more to it than just that.
I don't think there is.
No, there's not.
What about the perception of him not being a good friend to his B-level friend by not showing up to the wedding? Like, why is the perception of maybe the woman making a move on him at the wedding the only perception that matters?
Because I think that him showing up without me is more important than him not going. There's other people that won't be able to go either.
Okay, so let's run with that for 1 second. If he shows up without you here, Sarah, what does that say about you and your relationship to other people?
It makes it look like things are rocky, and that's not the case at all.
Okay, but we can't always be worried about what people think. I get, like, Sarah, I'm going to have your back a little bit here. I get with the rumors going around or circulating or the hot gossip, and she's asking about him, and then they show up at the same event, and he's there without his wife, so it feels like there's a door slightly ajar, and she can make her move. What I think is happening here is that you are playing this out in your head, and hey, my mind is a scary place, and I could play a scenario out like that myself. But you have to be comfortable and confident in your marriage. You have to not care what these people think because they don't know you guys like that and they don't know you like that. And this is simply you having to be on a work trip and your happily married husband attending the wedding of his good college friend. And at the end of the day, when she does approach him, because Mike, let's keep it 100. If she's been asking about you, this ex is going to approach you at the wedding. So put Sarah at ease. When this woman comes up and approaches you at the wedding and tries to say something, what are you going to do?
Oh, I'm just going to turn my back and walk away.
You're going to be able to do that?
Yes, I have no problem doing that.
Okay.
Sarah, do you believe that?
I do believe that.
Okay. So I will correct one thing that I think Kristen said that was incorrect. She said, just because the ex has been talking about you, that the door is slightly open. The door is not open at all for Mike.
No, it's not open at all for Mike, but the ex is going to think that she has a chance because there must be trouble in paradise. He showed up to the wedding without her, and weddings are very important. And why would you come to a wedding without your spouse? Of course, he's lying about her having a work trip. There's something rocking going on, so I have a chance.
I mean, I think you can change the perception here, Sarah. I totally see that one, but it does feel like you're catastrophizing. And instead, this perception can be that you're a badass with a career and you had a work trip. You have complete faith in your marriage. So your husband rolled up solo. And when he shuts his ex down, your marriage is going to look rock solid to everyone. You're going to come out of this a winner.
Here is a listener, John, that wants to get in on this. Hey, John, good morning.
Hey, good morning, y'all. I just got to say to Sarah, my wife and I, we've discussed this at length already. You're crazy. Like, I'm sorry. Nobody on the show is on your side. You need to just back down. Like, if you really trust your man, I think you're lying. But if you really trust him, then this is a non-issue.
I don't know that John would be the greatest couples therapist. You're crazy. Although there were times I was in couples therapy that I wanted the therapist to say that.
Facts.
All right, so Sarah, where are you at with this now? And Mike, where are you at with this now? I agree with John in that. No, I mean, everybody kind of understands. No, we don't understand where you're coming from, Sarah.
I do.
You do? All right.
I do.
Kristen has more soul and heart than the rest of us.
No, it's not that. I've just been, I think when you bring your baggage or if you don't want to refer to it as baggage, you bring your history into relationships with you. And I have been cheated on multiple times. I know what that feels like and it sucks.
It's happening right now to you.
Yeah, it is not.
You don't know.
So I don't blame. I think Sarah is well within her right. I want to validate her feelings. I understand you being uncomfortable with your husband being in the same room with an ex who has been asking about him. I think if that would make any sane woman, I use the word sane, any sane woman slightly uncomfortable. However, I feel like this is a you issue and you got to deal with those feelings and let Mike go to the wedding. I'm not even going to say that because I would never say that for a man to let somebody go to a wedding. But Mike should be able to go to the wedding and have a good time. And hey, maybe we can compromise here. He can carry around an 8x5 photo of you or 8x11 photo of you.
That's what I was thinking.
Like
you got to.
How about a T-shirt with her face on?
Just get a tux. A tux with Sarah's face on it to solve all of this.
Sarah, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I hear y'all out. I get it. It's just, it still makes me uncomfortable.
Okay. Mike, is there anything final you want to say here to ease her mind somehow, some way?
Well, look, honey, it's ridiculous for you to think that I would ever step out on you. I never would in a million years. And if we put this whole situation back into another container, the fact that you're going into a hotel for a work trip without your husband makes me look bad because what are they going to think about you when you show up?
Oh,
It's the same situation.
Oh, I was about to wrap
absurd.
up, but it doesn't appear so.
Should we get John back on the line?
Wow. Okay. Sarah, what do you think of that?
That's solid.
I mean, I'm being paid to be there. It's a little different.
All right, well, what if I pay Mike here $100 to show up to the wedding?
Already.
What?
you and your workarounds.
I mean, he's got a pretty good point.
It's pretty solid.
I mean, we'll have to agree to disagree.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's what we started with.
All right, at least you got some outside perspective here. I don't know that we have accomplished anything. The next time we do this, we should make both parties agree, like the way that we rule the relation. That's it. The issue is behind you guys. Is the issue behind you guys?
I'm excited for the wedding.
No, is the answer.
The issue is not behind him, but his ex is.
Oh,
Sarah, is the issue behind you?
I mean,
No.
All right, looks like our work is done here.
That
Another
is-
satisfied
Dude,
customer.
that couldn't be a more perfect representation of a man moving on and a woman holding on.
The Bert Show.